We'll wait a second, see if anybody jumps on here. Good morning, YouTube land. Hope you can hear me. I got my ear pods on, so hopefully they're coming through. Nobody's up. Well, it should be around noon there. Should be around noon in the US of A. There we go. We got one on here. Can you hear me all right? Welcome to the live chat. Got 6 people on here. Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me? Mic check. We got 1 thumbs up. So y'all can hear me all right? What's everybody got going on today? Let's see what time. Should be around noon. Folks, I can't sleep, hell. Last night the dogs was raising hell. Kept me up all night, so thanks to that I've got my days and nights mixed up. So I figured I'd do a little live just because I was bored and needed to talk to somebody. I'm trying about half be quiet. Hello, Mr. John P. Asia. Hear you well. Thank you, John. What up, dude? Dum dum. Hear you loud and clear. I can hear you. Yep, 11:50 over here. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Yeah, hell, I've got my days. I'm on y'all's time now. I've got my days and nights mixed up. Last night there was a dog raising hell. Kept me up all night long. Well, and I screwed up and got out here and got me a cup of coffee. And next thing you know, hell, it was 6 in the morning, and then about time I should have been getting up, hell, I went to sleep. So I got that to deal with. So I tried to sleep through it last night. Stayed up I slept pretty much all day. I had a subscriber come by, and but I was asleep, so I didn't. A late live, yeah, crypto student. Yeah, my days and nights are all screwed up. Like I said, I had a sub come by yesterday, but hell, I was asleep because like I said, I went down when I should have been getting up, and I thought I'll push through it. I'll get up and go to sleep. I mean, I'll get up, eat, go to sleep, try to push on through it. And hell, I woke up about 11 o'clock tonight, and here we are, 3 hours later, and I'm drinking coffee, and hell, I talked to Aaron on the phone. Aaron's got, I don't know, issues, I guess you'd say. He had a Filipina ass to move in with him. And I told him, so you better think about that, because you get one moves in, she'll never move out. So he's in a dilemma. That's the thing over here, folks. There's phases to this, because if one ever moves in, you're stuck. You're stuck, and I think he knows that. So he said he told her he's going to think about it overnight. And mind you, he'd been thinking about dating this girl. I'm not going to say who it is, but just for privacy concerns, and I don't think he'll mind me talking about this. But yeah, he said, "What I do? She wants to move in." I said, "Shit, I don't know. You just know that after that happens, it's game on. That's the deal about getting over here to the Philippines. You need to find you a nice. You need to have a plan. First part of your plan is going to get here. Find you a nice place." And that's why I always tell people, you need to go, before you settle on one place, you need to check several out. But this don't apply to him because he's been here before. You know, this is his second time in the Philippines. He lived here about 2 months last time, I think. And so he knows what he's getting himself into if he says yes. But by the end of it last night, he was talking like, yeah, I don't feel like that's a good thing. Because that relationship, I mean, soon as you agree to it, I mean, it's that fun and flirting shit's over, folks. It feels like he just got over there. Why make such a commitment? And that's what he's, that's where he's at. That's what he would like to. You know, everybody likes what comes with that. But at the same time, hell, that would be a game over for the fun, if you know what I mean. So I don't know. I don't think he's gonna. I think he's gonna reject it, and that would be the smart thing. But we don't always do the smart thing when we're not thinking with the right head, or I don't, never did. But how's the weather over there, y'all? I seen in Texas or whatever, and Oklahoma. The fire started in Oklahoma, just north of where I live, and it's already pushed all the way to Amarillo. So prayers to them people out there in the Panhandle of Oklahoma and Texas. Got some kind of message here. I still, I'm still trying to figure out toothbrush only, nothing permanent so soon. Yeah, as soon as they get that toothbrush on the shelf, though, that's a commitment. That's what I say. Hell, it's hard to. I don't know. You just know you're gonna be locked down. Game over. I mean, this old gal, she's got a job and everything, and then hell, she's so close that she could walk to work. Hell, that's how he knows her. So that's another deal. I told him you don't want to screw up a good place. If you got like a favorite restaurant over here, you don't want to date that girl because you'd screw up a good place for you to go. You know, it's raining, cold, and always cloudy. Well, I don't know who was that crypto student. I don't know what. Hopefully, it'll clear up pretty quick. But me and Trina I've been looking at flights for the last week, folks. I've got us a flight booked to Phuket. I got us a flight booked to Bangkok. I got us a flight booked to Phnom Penh. But I've been stuck there ever since. I've been looking at the prices. Do I want to go back to uh, straight to Dumaguete? And the prices, the airplane prices are just higher than hell right now. Even my flight back home, I've already paid for my main flight. Uh, but it was $900 one way. Lots of people, it should be about 5 or 6. Why are you up so late? Greetings from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I got my days and nights mixed up. That's what I was just telling everybody. Hell, these damn dogs kept me up all night last night, and so I slept all day. Now I'm wired when I should be in bed. He'd still be lucky if only she moved in. Most of them quit their job right after moving and bring the entire family compound for you to pay for. Yeah, that wouldn't work. He's just in y'all have seen his little apartment. It's just a little studio apartment, so it'd be just the two of them. I think that's the reason she's wanting to move in to keep from having to drive so far. Uh, but he knows better than that. Learn that lesson once, don't need it again. Yeah, I understand. I understand. Hey, brother, I'm up too. Mike and Glad. What's up, Mike? Mike's headed to the Philippines on March 7th, I think. Glad is working on USA time. Yeah, not on purpose. Not on purpose though. I'm trying to keep my voice down because I don't want to keep everybody in the whole vicinity awake. But it wouldn't be my fault with the dogs and roosters. Y'all can probably hear them going on behind me. But anyway, back to my flight. I can't. If I get over to Cambodia, they want to swing me back through Vietnam, and I can't get a visa to Vietnam right now. So as long as the excuse me, as long as the I could stay in the same terminal, and I've looked Hanoi's airport up. I think that's the best option. But the flight times, I don't know. It's just everywhere they want to put you in the middle of the night and jack the prices up. We got 22 people and 4 likes. Come on, people, hit that like button. I think I caught all them comments. 24 people down. Got lots of foreigners coming over here. Y'all check out that what's the name of that channel? Asia something. It's like a news feed. The guy does a pretty good job. Keeps everybody posted. And it seems like every day for the past week, some foreigner's doing something, going to jail. Now there's a guy in Cebu beating up on his old lady, and it's crazy over here, folks. They're giving us a bad name, and that's the first thing I look for. Is it American? Ace Bachelor Tom. What does Trina do for work? She don't work. She don't work. Well, I say she don't work. She's a housewife, I guess you could say. She works all the time, but it's with that broom and dang dude. Anybody got any questions? Anybody got any do a little Q&A? Any is the YouTube vlogging paying well enough to supplement income? No, no, it's or it probably could if you want to make it a job, but on my deal, no, no. I put out a video showing what they paid me for the year 2025, and I don't know what it added up to, but it probably averaged a couple hundred a month. But there's people that are going hard that that probably this is their income, and that just turns it in from something like me. I get on here and I just vent. I talk to my little camera and get whatever off my mind, and it's like therapy to me. It really is. I show a little bit of the Philippines, of course, with these new laws and whatever. That's kind of got harder to do, but I can still go and get on here and vent. And like I say, hell, there's people doing damn good, but that's kind of like their full time gig. And controversy. Everybody wants some controversy, and I'm just at the point in my life. I just try to stay out of the drama situations. I'll I'll jump on a topic like a hot burning topic in the Philippines. I like to share what's going on in the Philippines, but there's several YouTubers or YouTube, I don't know what you call it, characters or who they pretend to be, that I think that strikes up. Uh, if you got controversy going on, everybody, it's like a school fight when you're in the fifth grade. Everybody's trying to provoke one to, hey, he said this, he said that, and that's what viewers like. But that's out of my, I don't know. I'm over all that. What's the best way to get to Da Nang from there? I bet. I think I flew. Uh, I think I flew Mactan, Cebu straight to Da Nang. I know I flew straight to Da Nang and I flew out of Da Nang. So it's either Manila, uh, either Manila or Cebu. I just happened to be living in Cebu at the time when I went. So I think that's your best bet. You got a direct flight. So uh, on my way back from Cambodia, they're wanting to send me to Hanoi and then send me to Manila and back. So, uh, but there's another option, but it takes more hours to go through. Shoot you to Cebu. So, howdy, Brian. But I just keep getting hung up on the prices. They want like $300 just to get home from Cambodia, and that's, I don't know. I'm in Southeast Asia. I'm thinking these flights should be about $100, not $300, and that's bare minimum, folks. I don't know if I'm picking the wrong dates, and every time I get to like I bought my tickets to Thailand, I should have just done round trip, but I couldn't. I thought, no, when we're there, when we're that close, we need to swing on over to Phnom Penh because I've never been. And this whole vacation, we're going on places that I have been, like Phuket, and I'm going to show Tarina all that. And I thought, well, hell, you can't take her to Thailand and not take her to Bangkok. So I got us tickets to Bangkok. I mean, and then I thought, well, hell, I'll just fly back to Phuket, and it would have been a lot cheaper. But with these new with these new Thailand visa laws, they only allow you in Thailand, I think twice per year. So I'm like, I don't want to burn a trip to Thailand. I may want to go again within the year. So so that's when I decided to jump on over to Cambodia, and now we're stuck in Cambodia, and I guess we're going to pay $300 a piece for a ride home. Yeah, everything I use is on Skyscanner. That's pretty much my only tool. And when it wasn't working, hell, I did two or three others. I think I did Booking and I did a Agoda, and I tried going straight to Philippine Airlines. I've looked at all of it. Skyscanner's always been the best prices and the best routes for me because there's so many different ways you can do it. You can hit multi-city option, and that's the route I took the first time. I went from uh, I did a multi-ticket from Phuket to Bangkok, Bangkok to Phnom Penh. Like I say, now I'm stuck in Phnom Penh. I guess to get home, we're either going to pay $300 a piece and fly during some. But it's not the 300 that I hate. It's the flying out at 1 in the morning, and then have to put up that shit for 12 hours. Of course, if I'm still on this schedule, I'd be up anyway, so it's no big deal. But I plan on getting my sleep uh, schedule back on track. And so I even thought the only way I could get home traveling in the daytime was fly from Phnom Penh to Kuala Lumpur. And I thought, hell, we could stay in Kuala Lumpur for 3 or 4 days. But then I got to looking at the dates, and I'm like, I'm just dragging this out. You still got to get home from Kuala Lumpur. I've looked at Google Flights. I've looked at uh, or I think I've looked at Google Flights because that's what everybody's top two are Google Flights and Skyscanner. And I went to Google and typed in flights, and I'm not seeing what everybody else is seeing. I guess I think I'm on the right deal. I even tried to do the app, and it took me straight to Google. So I just Skyscanner's the best option that I've found so far. What's it? What we got? Scambodia, LOL, Thailand always wins, hands down. Yeah, yeah. But I like them both, but I wouldn't want to be in Cambodia over, you know, if I'm only going to be in one town or one city. I think 4 or 5 days is plenty because me and Mike went. We spent about 5 days, I think, and we felt like we'd seen it all, and we was just in a little old Siem Reap, which I say little old. It's an awesome place, but after you're there for a week, I'm thinking you'd be like, what the hell? Uh, I know they've got you can go down to the coast and other places, but we won't have time to do all that. And I even thought about going to Phu Quoc just so I could try to get my visa deal squared away and ask them, hey, what's going on? I'm repeating everything I said in the last video, so I still can't figure out how to get back, and I still can't. I want that Vietnam deal squared away because I do plan on going back there. That's just a beautiful country, folks. It really. I, if I was, I can't say that. I've been to so many places that I like. You say Thailand wins every time. I'm the same way when I get to Thailand, though. If I go to a city, about 3 or 4 days, I'm ready. I'm ready to go on to the next one. And so that was my way of getting to treat me to something new was going to Phnom Penh because I'd never been. And I think the ticket from uh, Phuket to Bangkok, Bangkok to Phnom Penh was like $90. So I thought, hell yeah. But now I'm stuck. Now I'm stuck in Phnom Penh and trying to figure out, well, am I gonna fly out at 1 in the morning or no? So I don't know. I don't know what to do. Any good fairs and festivals in the PI during March? And yeah, I'm sure there is. These people just love to party. Brian, hell, yeah, there's so many festivals that you're like, damn, another one, another one, another one, and nobody knows what they are or when they're coming until they're here. You just see shit popping off in the street, and you're like, what's that? Oh, they're having festival. Well, how come you didn't tell me we had a festival coming? Well, I didn't know. Or they'll be out of school. Well, they out of school? I don't know. Holiday. What holiday? I don't know. So I'm never in the loop when it comes to when the festivals are. I know there's one in April because I think it's in uh, Bonawan is having one April 7th, I think, and we're flying out on the 4th. So I'm gonna get to miss that one or have to miss that one, however you want to put it. Uh, but these little towns about March they fire up everywhere. I think when I lived in that old apartment or the first apartment where me and Aaron lived in Valencia, uh, there's a guy that was from Tanhai, just up the road from Dumagetti, and so he invited us that one. We never did go, but they just all the time somebody's having a damn festival. If you have onward travel arrangement that you can show, you shouldn't have a problem visiting Thailand more than twice a year. Yeah, but you have to have an onward ticket to get in anywhere. Any country, you got to have an onward ticket, even if it's a fake one. But Thailand has come up with this crap, and it's to keep the people that I think it's to keep the people that go there to live without getting the right visa. So it's screwing it up for everybody. I've got David Coleman. He's in Thailand right now, but I've seen so many videos of people getting rejected and turned around, having to fly back because uh, because of the situation going on. Leonard Washington said, "You have to be careful in Vietnam. A friend of mine got a food poisoning from Indian restaurant in Vietnam. Hey, I did too. I took a motorbike trip from Da Nang to Pha Trang, or what's the name of it? What the hell's the name of that? Patrang, maybe? I can't remember. But I took about a 4 day riding that Ho Chi Minh Trail. And on the second night when I was there, I stopped. There was the second day, somewhere north of Quezon. I stopped and I had a chocolate milkshake and was just trying to gather myself and everything. And that night, I drove all the way to the hotel, and I don't know that night, just I got unleashed, folks. I had shit coming out of both ends. I didn't know whether to sit or hug the throw and the toilet, and I was crunched for time because I was getting to the end where I had to be back in Da Nang. I thought, what in the hell am I going to do? I sat in that hotel for uh, it was just going to be one night, but I think I stayed 2 or 3 nights, and and just finally got to where I thought I could climb on that motorbike and make my way back to uh, Da Nang. And I made it as far as Way. I got to Way, and I thought this is a beautiful city, and so I stayed, and I thought, well, uh, if I ever go back, I would like to check out that city when I'm not sick and when I'm not, puny because I couldn't eat nothing. I think I don't know. I stayed there one night and then rode back into to Da Nang and flew out like 2 days later. Not train. No, it wasn't a train. I was somewhere north in between uh, Hanoi, Hanoi and Da Nang. Pha Trang, I think's the name of it. Does that sound right? Maybe. Ian. Speaking of food poisoning, how many times have you had it in the Philippines? Just one. No, none. I don't think. I don't think I've ever had it here, other than unless you want to say that I had it for about a year when I got here the first time, because hell, I was popping them Imodiums all the time. Hell, I wouldn't pass up a toilet. I don't know. Aaron went through the same deal uh, when he got here, and then those last few times I've come, I hadn't had to deal with it. Somebody said that when I finally got over it, I don't know if it worked, their advice worked, or or if I just kind of got over it. But I would have me a spell where I had the shits. I would go buy them Imodium ADs and pop them. And somebody told me, no, quit doing that. Just let it stay at the house and let it run through your system, and it'll be over. And I did that, and I hadn't had a problem ever since. But used to, even if I flew out of the country and come back, I don't know what it is, but I could shit through a screen door, folks. I guarantee you, it was bad. Oh, Aaron, I, I shouldn't tell this, but Aaron was at a restaurant slash bar here, uh, and he shit his britches. I don't think anybody knew he did it. He said, I got to my motorbike, went to throw my leg over, and here come the mud, folks. I could smell the barbecue chickens in the rim at that place you stopped at and brought dinner home. Was it good as it looked? You can't go wrong with meat turning over chocolate. It was delicious. Matter of fact, I just finished it tonight. I tore the ribs up the first night. I'm the only one that ate ribs. When Trina and them got home, they'd already been out, and they kind of picked at that chicken. They ate all but whatever I finished tonight. It was good. I don't know what they put on it, but it's like they inject it with something because it is damn good. Let it stay at the house. Love that. Yeah. It was bad. I ain't shit you. But I was scared to death that I was going to get it at Bali because everybody says, "Oh, be careful, you get Bali Billy." And I mean, it's so bad that they named it. Hey, you're pretty much probably going to. So I avoid eating the stuff that I should have been eating, like the salads. They said it's all usually on the chemicals or whatever they spray on the vegetables. So I avoided them at all costs. I just ate the noodles and rice every day, pretty much. I ain't ever shit my britches, but I've damn sure thought it. If I wouldn't, you get the old quick steps where you where you know you better stay close to the house. It's a short or a fart, always a mystery after Mexican food in Texas. Yeah, yeah, I've learned to be real careful. Just kind of try to ease one out instead of going for it because you're like, ooh, ooh. I flew out of what's that say? Folks, I always got a damn arrow that pops up right in the way. I flew out of Sigonella, Sicily, and we were afraid for it. No doubt, no doubt. Especially on airplanes, you're like, "Ooh, I can't hide from this." Everybody will know what happened. Spend the whole flight in that little CR or bathroom, cooped up, vaping and shitting. I'm headed to Roland, Oklahoma for work tomorrow. Is that near your? Evidently not, because I've never heard of it. Roland, Oklahoma. Let me check that out for you. That sounds like it's probably far east Oklahoma. I'm in southwest Oklahoma. See if I can't find that. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Rolling, Oklahoma. Cherokee Casino. Is that up by Tulsa? Oh, you're down there in Arkansas. Yeah, hell, you're on the border of Arkansas. You're probably about an hour or probably an hour or two south of Joplin, Missouri. That's you better be careful of them folks back in eastern Oklahoma. Uh, y'all seen what was the name of Deliverance? Y'all seen that movie? You better be careful down there. I went down. I had to go to a school one time down there for like 6 weeks, and you talk about some backwoods living. Them people down there on that what is that Tahlequah and all that beautiful place, beautiful place. There's a river we floated to. Uh, what the hell was the name of that? Camp Gruber, Camp Grayling. We used to always go there in the summer, and when we'd get our leave, we'd head down and float that river. So check that out. That'd be a pretty good. It's pretty scary in some of these countries. You just have to hope you don't get food poison. Yeah, and like I say, the only country that I've actually ever really tried to eat the street food was Thailand, and I never had a problem. Of course, you see them cook it right in front of you. Everything's. I take that back. I would always eat banh mi's on the street in Vietnam. But other than that, that's like I was always scared to eat that fried chicken from the chicken lady, and because I was like, shit, I don't know, that's kind of sketchy eating some damn fried chicken off what that cart looked like. But after I did and knew I never had any issues, I wasn't worried about her no more. Now I would still worry about one across the street if they was doing the same thing if I'd never ate there, because you don't know how long that damn food's been out, folks. they don't want to cook no more than they think they can sell. And so my theory was I would get there in the morning, or they'd get set up at 10 or 11 before school. She sat right out in front of the school, so I would be like one of the first ones there, and I'd get all my chicken, and I was like, this is gonna be, it's either gonna be the fresh best chicken I can get, or it's gonna be the reruns that she reheated from yesterday. But I kind of had a planned time that I would go, and I never had any trouble. 12-hour mission with no toilet, just can to piss in, just a can to piss in. Good old P3 Orion. Yeah, I'm from Joplin, Missouri. Okay, okay. Yeah, we used to go to a tournament there. My boy played on a traveling baseball team. We'd go up to what the hell's the name of that? Springfield. You talk about an awesome area. Me and my daughter, we went up there and we went through a little Titanic. I don't know why in the hell Missouri has a museum of the Titanic, being in the middle of the country, but they do. I guess because it Mississippi River probably, but we went and done that, and then we rode a train somewhere. Uh, I hope your son, OK Farmer, put some planting videos out this spring. Yeah, I do too. I talked to him yesterday, and I don't know if he's going to have time or not because this baby's coming. He told me. I said, well, uh, asking me how long I was going to stay, and I said, well, how much hay are we going to have to cut? Because we always cut and bale hay. Help him get through that, and he said, well, this baby's due right when that's all going to take place. He said it may just be me and my cousin doing it for him. I said, well, you're going to have to pay me a little better than you did last year. I'm not helping at all. Just joking with him. He said, no. He said, so that's his dilemma. Is he's going to be right in the middle of hay season, uh, brand new baby. So I don't know how much time he'll have to break out that because he does good videos. He knows how to use all these electronics and shit, and I never did. So I give him my drone, and some of his drone shots, I was like, damn, I wish I would have, showed some of the Philippines through the drone. But I carried that drone around for over a year, and I took it to Vietnam. I took it to all these places that have just breathtaking scenery, and I never even broke it out like an idiot. Where did Trina get her nose job? Glad is wanting to know. In Cebu, we went to Cebu and stayed up there. They put us in a hotel, and I'll ask her tomorrow or whatever. Hit me up, remind me again, because uh, whoever she used put us up in the hotel, and then we was like on the sixth floor, and then when she had it done, we had to go down to like the third floor where all that takes place or whatever, and then they sent us back up to the sixth floor, and we stayed, I don't know, 3 or 4 more days. We was there a week, but you know it was just a 1 day procedure or a couple hours. I don't know how long it took, but they do everything in that same building. It's pretty impressed. I didn't want her to do it. I thought, yeah, this is. But they have a thing about noses over here. Everybody wants. I want your nose. She said, I want your nose. What the hell? Something about the round nose it's a tick to them, or it's always they think all foreigners got beautiful noses because they've got the round one. And I don't, I'm not into all that plastic surgery and all that bullshit. I was like, "Yeah, fuck that. Just be who you are." Look at my teeth. Hell, I got two chipped teeth, and people have been giving me hell since I started YouTube about it. Look at that, guys. You got two chipped teeth. Why don't you get them fixed? I've been using these teeth for 50 years. I'm not. I don't give it. We only get one set, and everybody else, and the people talking shit got a mouth full of porcelain. Take your teeth out and look, see what you look like. Fuck that. Thai food is so hot. How would you? Thai food is so hot. How would you know the difference? Because I always ordered. They'd ask me, "You want it spicy? No spicy. No spicy." I fucked up and ordered it spicy one time. I couldn't even eat it. I mean, I think what I was eating tasted good, but I couldn't. You keep shoveling it in. You think, hell, I'll get through it. I'll get through it. But hell, I was sitting there crying and sweating. I thought, fuck this. And all this street food was about 30 yards outside my my hotel. So I just threw it away and went and got me something I could eat. And that broke me from when they ask you, you want spice, a lot of spice, or very spicy? No spice. Because you just tell them a little bit. I mean, and I even like eating like hot chili and stuff like that. But I can't handle Thai hot. Hello, Brent. Looking good, my man. Florida finally warming. I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm glad y'all are finally getting thawed out. This global warming's a bitch, ain't it? You're going to end up eating some of that recycled tando chicken. I hear pag uh, is good if you can get over the fact that it's people's waste leftovers from the trash. I seen that in Manila. What you're talking about? Uh, yeah, I would avoid it. It's like they just take all the shit out of the trash and make a stew or some shit out of it. Yeah, I don't mess with that. They've even got these little canaderias. Or am I saying that right? Uh, and I've bought, they got all these silver pots with different lids, but there's two or three of them just like a block from me, and I've actually bought two or three things from there just one time, and everything I had was good, but it wasn't the trash that you're talking about. But I've definitely seen that them going through and just getting like the old half-eaten hamburgers and shit, and making stew out of that. It's not like that here in Dumaguete, I promise you. Are you still in the Philippines? Yeah, I'm still here. She's not my wife, she's my girlfriend, but yeah, we're still here in Dumaguete, just chilling in Dumaguete. Yeah, that's still your dollar city, silver dollar city. Yeah, yeah. They damn sure took a lot of my dollars, I promise you. We did that, like I said, we was there for like a 4 day baseball tournament, but we just turned it into a vacation. So I took my daughter with me, and my son. The baseball team had to stay. Uh, they all stayed together somewhere. I don't even know. I forget the name of the town. We got us a beautiful Airbnb up there, and we just after the ball game we'd play about once a day, and uh, after the ball games though we'd go like we was on vacation. So we just kind of plan our day around that game. That's the only time I ever got kicked out of a baseball game. We got kicked out. Uh, Me and another woman from the same team, and she's the one that always running her mouth. I don't ever run my mouth to umpires or whatever. But we had this idiot come, and he threatened you know the whole audience or whatever. And of course, my son was pitching, and I forget. I think her son might have been catching. I can't remember. And uh, he was just awful. He was calling. He was. I don't know. And they was letting him have it. I would. I'm not one of them that's just gonna, because it's a baseball game. But he warned us all. He stood up, pointing his finger, blah blah blah. And of course, me, I smarted something off, and he said, "You're out of here." I just got my chair and left. I texted my daughter. I said, "Well, I'll be sitting in the car. Tell me how we do." And it wasn't 5 minutes later. That lady got kicked out, and then about 5 minutes later, they canceled the game. The whole day, he threw everybody out. So he was just having a bad day, I guess. But that's really awesome. Right on, Brent. The secret to being happy is what God gave you. Yeah, I mean, hell, this is me. It's been me. Um I'm not trying to be somebody I'm not. I don't like all that fake shit. I really don't. Boom, take a ride. Give me $20. Some pesos for you. Hey, I appreciate you. Take a ride. I'm gonna write that down. I'll try to keep up with all these. You are the man. Where'd my little note deal go? I appreciate the shit out of that. We will we will find a play. That may be going to a ticket from help us get home from Cambodia. Joplin, Missouri. Jamie McMurray, is he still racing? Jamie McMurray. I have no idea. I used to be a big NASCAR fan, but when my guy quit, I got into racing the year that Dale Earnhardt died, and my guy was Tony Stewart, and I loved it. I watched it like it was as bad. I got into a deal where I did the same thing with football. I was into that fantasy football and all that shit. Uh, hell, we do. Even, I've been to a couple of races in Texas. But Tony Stewart was always my guy. Now I couldn't tell you any of them. I looked at a race the other day. Me and my son was talking about it, so I just looked at the drivers. I didn't recognize 90% of them. Uh, Jamie McMurray, where'd that go? Jamie McMurray was one of the only ones that I did recognize, and like I say, I can't remember when that was. What didn't he drive the like 28 car or something? Or he did one. I know all of it's changed by now, but the best I remember, my son when he was born or whatever, the only reason I got into it so big is because I was a mechanic. I was a mechanic for a truck line for 5 years, and every time you bought any of that Snap-on shit, they would give you like little Dale Earnhardt die-cast cars. So we started watching it, and it wasn't three races in, Dale Earnhardt died, and I had all these die-cast cars that and give them to my son or whatever, still in the box. And so we started buying him the little race cars, and he could tell you every driver what number they drove. He loved it too. So of course, when your kids love something, you really get into it. So hell, I had we did that. We did the of course all the sports. He both my sons was just pretty awesome at sports, and my daughter was always in dance recitals, so we always had to do that. And then it was beauty pageants, and there's nothing worse than having to go sit up. We had to go to Tulsa to her beauty pageant because she won uh, Miss Southwest Oklahoma. So then they take us to the Miss Oklahoma pageant was in Tulsa. So we got out there and we made a vacation of that. You talk about steal your dollar city. They had us in the casino for like 4 nights, and the only one that won was my youngest son, and he was too young to gamble. So him and his buddy, they would sneak through and hit the machines every once and then jet. And hell, I think I lost about $800, and I think them two little shitheads won about $600. I'm like you, like the nose be what it is. It's 65 here today and predicted to be in the 20s tomorrow. Boy, they're just trying to get you sick, ain't they? I hate that. Southwest Missouri. At least you don't. In Oklahoma right now, they've got winds blowing their ass off, and there's a damn fire that started up around Woodward. And the last I seen, it already made it to Amarillo and just devastating. I seen it. The wind was blowing so bad, it took a semi and turned it over going down the highway. I worked on Korean Navy ships as a civilian, and the only way I could tell the crew's food from the garbage was the shape of the cans. Both looked like it smelled the same. Yeah, we was talking about Korean food the other day. They always have, and that's like a. I don't know if they think it's just a higher class deal or whatever, because Valentine's hit, and she said, "You want to go to a Korean restaurant?" I said, "Fuck no, I ain't going to no restaurant. I got to cook my own shit." I said, "That's the reason I'm going to a restaurant, so we don't have to worry about it." But in Thailand, I went to one in Thailand and just happened to have a lady friend, we should say, but she did all the cooking. She's one that wanted to eat that shit, so she did. She would cook and peel your shrimp for you and all that kind of shit. But I said, I'm not, I'm not going to a restaurant and having to do all the damn work. And they got it set up to where it's all you can eat, but whatever you don't eat, they make you pay for that shit. So she's just cooking a little bit at a time. I'm like, screw that, cook, giving me two or three shrimps at a time. I said, I want a pile of shrimp. Hell, that's one thing that I will eat is shrimp. I don't need a bunch of that. To me, everything in the ocean is like insects. It's all like the insects of the sea. Dramageddon is a nice place. Nightlife says worst in the Philippines, but I don't go party, so I don't care. I'm the same, Danny. I don't screw with that. Even when I was single, hell, I was like that shit. It's too late at night when that shit happens. I would have to drive all the way back my motorbike. So some people tell me, I used to shit on it and say, you don't want to go here for nightlife, blah blah blah. Because I'd go to these little bars or whatever, and there'd be like 4 or 5 people show up, but it was usually couples and shit. And it's not like I'm like, you can't come here and pick up a girl. And they said, no, you got to go to the Filipino place. There's a place called the Tiki Bar or whatever. But I never did. I never went. Pull one out of there. I can imagine what type would be in there, really. How much do you pay for rent? I pay $200 a month, 12,000 pesos. I say 200. It's like 206 or 203, depending on what the peso's doing. But right now it's nearly 59 to 1. So if it was 60 to 1, I'd pay 200 even. So I think it's around 206. Me either. An Airbnb 1 month is $1,000, just like an apartment. $1,000 a month here. I know me and Aaron, we went through Airbnb and rented a place for like 2 weeks, and then we bypassed Airbnb. We just told the owner, "Hey, we'll keep renting this," but I think it was only like $500, which would have been $1,000, but we paid like $500 for 2 months or 400 or something like that. And then we just told her, "Hey, how much if we just pay you? Can we knock off this?" And by the time I left there, I was paying 24,000, so 400. But I lived. It was perfect location, quiet. It was a brand new apartment complex, but only one side of it was open. So I think there was about 10 residents there, and the whole other side they were still working on. Or I guess they run out of money because nobody ever worked hardly when I was there. So it wasn't like they was beating and banging on shit. It was just less people, and I was like a 1 minute ride away from downtown Valencia. So I love that location. Charina, she's wanting to buy a house or whatever, and she's been looking at lots and everything. And she keeps looking in this area. I'm thinking, if you're going to do that, hell, let's go up to Valencia or whatever. And but if any of that happens, it's going to be her deal because I'm not. You know the deal about buying land here. I'm not going to be that guy. I actually don't know much about NASCAR, but the Crown Rule leather jacket of Jamie's was on the clearance track, and it looked damn straight. I bet it was sweet. Purple, probably. Uh, my son's got a big Jimmy Johnson Home Depot coat hanging up in his shop. It looks pretty slick. Do you like dealing with the immigration office in Dumaguete? I hear it's better than going to Cebu. Better to the one in Cebu. They scam me every time with the express fee payment crap. I guess 3 hours is faster than five. Yeah, I don't have no problem with the immigration office here, but I don't get mine back the same day. I'll drop it off and they'll say, "Hey, come back and get it," and it's usually 3 or 4 days. Matter of fact, I'm gonna have to do that because mine's up on the first. But they hit me with that express fee 1 or 2 times. Then I'm like, screw this, I'm going early. So if you'll go about a week before it expires, you usually don't, or I've never had to pay it. But I've tried going there like 10 days earlier, and they's like, "No, it's too soon. You come back later." I'm like, shit, I'm not going to be here. That's the reason I'm wanting to get it done. But yeah, the guys, he's real friendly there. He always helps you. Uh, he'll help you convert your how tall you are instead of inches. They do it in centimeters or whatever. So I'm like, I'm this tall. How much is that? And he'll fill out your barangay. It's a hassle free place. It really is. I've never had any issues. And right across the hall, like I said, there's the JRC place, which will do the same thing that you're about to do if you want to give them 1,000 or 2. So I always just did it myself, drop it off, and they tell me when to come get it. They scammed me with the Express Visa. Yeah, I think they even scammed Aaron. He did his online. I've never tried to do it online because I heard it usually works about once and then you can't ever get it to work again. So I always just drop mine off. Like I say, I'm gonna have to do it again this week. Joplin, Missouri. You talk about beautiful country though. I absolutely loved it. We had some badass weather there too. Uh, it was like cloudy, overcast or whatever, not hot. It was perfect weather. I don't. And we, of course, coming from Southwest Oklahoma when it's 105 degrees every day, you get up in the mountains and you're thinking this. I could live here. I know why so many people do. It's a beautiful place. What's the price of a liter or gallon? It's about the same as it. No, it's higher here because it's like 53 pesos I think for a liter of gas, which times it's and that's like a nearly $1 a liter, so that would be $4 a gallon. So it's still, it's it used to be 50, 58, 59, so it's dropped a little bit. But in Oklahoma, where I live, it's right around $2. It was. I always go at the beginning of second month, so I typically have 3 weeks left. Okay. Okay. That's one thing. My another thing my buddy gives me hell said, why are you going to Thailand in low season? I said, why in the hell would you go in high season? I don't understand that. I said, hell, I think it's busy when it's low season, and all the hotels and shit are half the price. I've looked up the same room that I used to get in Patong, a little island town on Phuket, and the same exact hotel. It'll fluctuate from $100 a night to $40 a night. And if it was $100 a night, hell, I would never would have went back. Some say it's automatic, but I've had a few tell me it's not automatic. No, I go a week early and I've never had an issue. Hey, Forrest, oh, that's Simon. For me, the Dumageddon and Sikihor combo is the best. The Sikihor, it's getting, like I said, I had mixed feelings about Sikihor. The first time I went over there, I absolutely loved it. Second time, not so much. Third time, I was like, I ain't coming back. But I see everybody over there having a blast. So uh, I hadn't been there in probably maybe 2 years. So I probably need to get my ass back over there. John says it's 2.12 a gallon in Springfield, Missouri. That sure beats the shit out of $4, don't it? 2.70 in Virginia. Okay. Well, that's one good thing about where I live. It's always had about the cheapest gas in the nation, and it may be up to 2.12 or something again. But the last I seen on Facebook, somebody posted $1.99 a gallon, and it must have been above $2, or they wouldn't have posted that. Michigan's still around $3. Damn. How would you like to live in California? Well, nobody would want to live in California. Hell, everything's high there. They tax them people. I don't know. I don't know why anybody would put up with that. We're bouncing around 249 to 299 every day here in Columbus. Sweet, sweet. Like I said, that beats the shit out of $4. People was bitching about prices of this, prices of this. Eggs cost this much or what. I said I don't give a damn about any of that. I just care about gas. I said how many cartons of eggs do you buy? About once, lasts me about 2 weeks. How many gallons of gas you buy? Well, about 15 every week. I said, okay. Well, which would you rather be fixed? In UK, we pay $1.50 a liter for gas, 4.5 liters to a gallon. You do the math. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ooh, that's pretty high too. $600. Oh, for 4.5, so that's even more. 675. Just popped in to say hi. Appreciate your channel. Take care. Hey, I appreciate you watching. Appreciate you. Thanks for jumping in. We've been on here nearly an hour just because I couldn't sleep. So we're just on here bullshitting. I appreciate everybody stopping by. It may change here and the elections become fair. Yeah, there's no telling that. I'm so sick of both sides. I think they're all criminals. All of them get in there and get rich on our and just tax us to death and then send our money. We don't, all the money we spend. That's something that y'all don't need to get me riled up on because I just get so damn mad every time I think both sides. I hate them. I hate them both. And hate's a strong word, but I'm like these. I think these people are in it together. And like I say, just do this, make us go back and forth. It's the Democrats' fault. It's the Republicans' fault. I think they're. I think it's all one big show, and we're just the dumb puppets in the crowd watching it. It's like a soap opera. Well, they're investigating this dude today. Well, they're investigating. Well, nothing ever happens to none of them. Oh, well, we're going to get this guy, or we're going to get this guy. Brent, who would you say is the biggest vlogger now in the Philippines? Probably. I would have to give it to Filipina P. I think I used to watch her channel all the time, and as soon as you get to the Philippines, you quit watching all that. So I don't know who's hot and who's not, but when I was watching, she was, I seen when she watched her from the time that she started her channel, and she blew up from the get go. So uh, I see she puts out about one a week, and she gets lots of views. But like I say, I don't know who all is doing it. A lot of people just do it like me and just get shit off their chest and blah blah blah. But there's people that make big money, like that pro life traveler. Uh, Once he found a niche and started seeing what people want, and folks, his success just come off of, we're all men. We want to see pretty women. We want to see this. I can't do that on my channel because I'm not I'm not a shithead like he was and would just go because he had some cool shit on there. He really did, but he was lying to women. He was exploiting poverty. He was doing all that, but he was taking people to see what they wanted to see. I get why people watched it, and I really didn't. I'd kind of quit him because of and I know everybody says I used to watch it, but I got tired of it. Well, after this big deal with him going down, I've watched more videos since he's not available than I did when he was available. And hell, I was thinking the other night, I was like, damn, I wish he was still putting out shit because hell, where'd it go? 20 years ago in Iceland, rental was $200 a day and $50 gas a day. Damn. They're all in it together. I think so too. And we're just puppets watching it go down. They're all making money off of us. All the like that one chick went from having zero net worth to now she's worth 60 million. Come on now, and they just get up there and pretend they're arguing with each other. And as soon as the camera's off, I'm sure they're laughing at it. Since I went to the Philippines, I haven't been back to Thailand. The ladies there are too greedy, and the people are fed up with tourists. Yeah, I totally agree. And they're trying to get rid of. They've had enough of this tourist shit, and they're over it. And like you say, we missed it by probably 30, 40 years. I imagine. You know, I'm sure everybody wants to go back and it be like Vietnam, but they're all just it feels so much like a money deal over there. At least here in the Philippines, they at least act like they love you. Whether they do or not, I don't know, but they act like they do. And in Thailand, it's nope. I'll love you for this many dollars for this long, and which is cool. I mean, it's cool for a while, but I wouldn't want to get over there and be in a relationship and think, is this? I'm just the ATM. At least over here, whether you are or you ain't, you feel like it's real. Yeah, she's good. Is she married to an American? Who are we talking about? Simon Kennedy. Who are we talking about? Yeah, she's good. Did I miss something? Backpackers have taken over Sikihor and Koreans have taken over Boho, yeah. And they took over Walking Street there in Angela City. Who do you say? Backpackers in Sikihor? Yeah. Uh, which, like you say, the backpackers come and go. These Koreans on that boho deal, you're absolutely right. Like Alona Beach, that's all that's there. And somebody said in Angela City that it's all Koreans, and said the girls won't even go with the regular guys because of what they call it 3 for Koreans. 3 inches, 3 minutes, $300. So they're like, if he ain't Korean, I'm not going. And I guess they got so many Koreans that's all they want to do. You can't say that I blame them. Sikihor is not Siargao yet. I've never been to Siargao, and I don't know if I'll ever go. It used to be on my list of places I want to go, but I've been to Sikihor and all these other Boracay and all this crap. So I'm kind of over it, folks. Hell, I'm like, it's just an island, just like I'm at. Hell, I could go to Aaron's house and see a beach and all that shit, and pay $5 for a meal instead of why go pay tourist prices? And the accommodations and the infrastructure anywhere in the Philippines sucks. So why would I pay more for doing that? Me, like I said, me and Sharina, we went hit that little three-way trip. Sorry, folks, I'm pouring me some coffee. It's gonna be an all-nighter, I guess. But we went to all of them. We flew into Port-au-Prince. We went to El Nido. We went to Corona. We went to Boracay, all in one trip. It was like a 15-day trip, and we'd spend like 5 days at each place. And I guarantee you, we was paying for a hotel on Boracay, paying United States money, and then trying to walk to our room. It rained one time and just flooded the whole. We They had to put like stepping stones in the street for us just to get to our hotel room. Yeah, it was beautiful at sunrise and sunset, but after that, you couldn't get a ride no more. They had a monopoly on the rides, like 600 pesos, or it was like $10 to take you anywhere. If you went somewhere where your feet didn't take you, you was paying at least $5 to $10 for them electric tricycle ride. Make sure this hot coffee ain't too hot. Still pretty wonder. RLT retracted message. Pro Life Traveler was good, but he went beyond the mark of respecting the culture. Yeah, I totally agree. He uh, he pressed the limits. He was on to something good, but he had to get greedy and fuck it all up. And I guess he was, you know, I was thinking, well, hell, he's meeting all these girls because he's a handsome, younger guy, enthusiastic, not afraid to talk to anybody. So the girls were just falling in love with him or whatever. But I didn't know that he was hand picking them off what you call it? Oh, dating apps. I didn't realize that. I should have. And it's a great technique. But if he wouldn't have lied to him, he'd still be going strong. He'd be, but he messed with the wrong one that I guess he lied to and said, no, this is for my personal use. The next thing she knows, she sees it, he's all, and it just, I don't know, it all built up and built up. And they was looking to get him anyway because he had so many haters. But all that hate, people would still couldn't wait to check on his next video the next day. And all of them was, you got to put that baby in a car seat. You got to do this, and just making him money with every comment. Making it, and he just sat back and somebody said he didn't even answer his comments. He didn't even, because why would you? That when most of them are so negative or whatever, he just kicked back and watched that money roll in. But he's sure getting screwed now. That Vitali screwed his whole world up there. He'd have been living like a king up there in that prison probably. But Vitali done told everybody he had a cell phone and all this and that. So I guarantee you, Pro Life Traveler ain't got no cell phone after the embarrassment that caused. But I did see a deal on Vitali. You know, he's supposed to come out with this big, documentary about his time in the Philippines jail. But I seen another video on him, maybe tonight. Tonight, it was either tonight or last night, and he was truly apologizing. He's like, yeah, I learned my lesson, but he didn't learn his lessons. He went straight to the United States, but he's like, I didn't ever think I would leave the Philippines jail. I didn't ever think I'd get to go back to the United States, but he did, so we'll see how long he's sorry. But by saying what he said, he just ratted out all his buddies in that jail, and maybe he did it because they wasn't really buddies. Maybe, but I seen in his little video, there's about 5 or 6 people in there with him. Where'd we go here? Every time I turn around, there's tax for this and tax for that. Yeah, it gets so damn old, and hell, that's what I was telling my son. They're looking about an RV camper or whatever. And hell, even if you've got your own RV, your own truck, you want to go stay the night somewhere, hey, you might as well get a hotel room because they're going to charge you, $25, $30 for a damn place to park your trailer. Come on, man. I wouldn't have bought the trailer if I knew I had to pay rent. I see his wife has started vlogging. Yeah, me too. I went and checked it out, and it's always just silly shit. She's hitting the fast forward button through the whole thing. I'm pulling for her, I really am, but she's going to have to do something better than what she. But she got so many people watching and try and slide in on Sim, which somebody's going to because you know he's gone and he's going to be gone forever, and she won't miss a lick, folks. I think she'll pick if they want a foreigner, they'll have a foreigner, and she's just doing these little videos, and she's going to pick whoever she wants, and somebody else will take over and be that baby. I be the pappy. I be the pappy y'all seen live. I that boy's daddy. Call me Paul. I the pappy. Somebody I seen in the comments just people, oh, I'm so blah 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 this that and over. Yep, they're sliding on in on Sim. I'm sure Sim's probably telling her, hey, you need to keep put something up on your for a video. I don't care what it is. Keep that money rolling in. Love that one crypto. It's even expensive to be homeless. That says a lot about duos and Nutsland. Yeah, yeah. And how much money they poured into it. Jolene is streaming now. Yeah, yeah. I seen it. Well, just I can't hardly talk, but I'm gonna make a video so all these people in the comments will. But I bet she's she'll be the hot commodity. But I am, like I say, I'm rooting for her at the same time. But I saw a pro life wife in the boulevard and asked her about her husband, and she said, "What husband?" Ah, see, I figured she's on to the next one. I guarantee you, and good for her. And you know, we'll just have a little sim running around for the next 18 years. But I think everybody could see that coming. No, I don't. I don't even know if that kid's got a name, baby boy. Baby boy. That's the only thing I heard. Is that true, Danny? Yeah, yeah. I wish you would have got more details so you could fill us in. Because I figure they're going to hold him and hold him and hold him because of Vitality. What Vitality did screwed everybody. I wouldn't want to be in that jail because it used to. I could see people have put out videos before, like, yeah, I had a fan, I had this, I had that. Brent Bob is back. That must be Susie Q. Hello, Susie. At the time of the receipt for my visa was 6,000 or 6,300 pesos, but I was forced to pay 8.7. Where does the 2,400 pesos go to that didn't show up on the receipt? The employees are skimming. Yeah, it sounds like they got you. Sounds like they really got you. And I don't see how paying express fee. You know, my passport's going to the same place that some other places go, so it's all a scam. It's all. Hey, Brent Butter Bob is back. Yes, ma'am. There's a new refinery being built in Houston. Really, really. I hope that'll cheapen it up. Everybody's getting the hell out of California. They're like, we're not putting up this shit. They're not playing this game. He's running everybody out there, and I guess they've got to want to do it because yes was 20 days ago. Okay, 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 okay. Her answer shocked me, and my girlfriend was angry with me for the talk. I say, so that's about all the questions you could get in before you caught them eyes. I understand. I understand. JFK. Oh shit. Hang on, folks. Can you still hear me all right? Sometimes when I take them out, it goes. Can you still hear me? Where'd I go? JFK announced yesterday that they signed a bill making the grocery stores cover 2/3 of the store with veggies and fruit. Really? Trying to get us healthy again. Man, they're feeding us so much shit. 209 and eggs are going down too. It's about time. It's about time. But folks, in the United States, they feed us so much shit over there. You buy a bag of Doritos and look at the ingredients there, and then you go to Mexico or the Philippines or just different countries, and they don't have half them ingredients. They're poisoning us, folks. They're all in on it together. I guarantee you. Gas is $2.09, and eggs are going down too. That's what I say. That's what I said. $209 a while ago. That's in Durant. You made out better than me because I paid 11,000. That wouldn't give me a passport back and the paperwork I needed for my exit clearance otherwise. Wow, that's why I don't play around. I don't stay. I don't stay here over 6 months because if you stay here over 6 months, you're locked in to have to get that exit clearance. So about 5 months, I get the hell out of here. I go somewhere and then pop back in. And people ask me, why you do that? You just got to get an exit. It's just one more step, getting an exit clearance. I'm like, yeah, but hell, if I'm over here for 3 or 4 months, I'm ready for a break. I'm ready for a vacation, folks. You can only, you can only, I know it all looks beautiful and it is, but you used to go through the same old shit every day and listen to the same old dog bark and the same old roosters crowing. And there's so many places that I've not been here that I keep saying I'm going to go, but I'm just like, let's get out of here. Let's go for an exit. So it's going to be hello Thailand, then hello Cambodia, and then I'll be set again. And I think, get back and stay here for about a week before I go back to the United States. And then I get to welcome that grandbaby. She was a working girl before pro life. Yeah, I think so too. You could kind of tell. And I tried to go back to watch and see how that relationship started, but it was just like there was no girlfriend. The next thing you know, I've got a wife. So I don't know. Maybe I missed some videos. Maybe he took down some in between. But bless his heart. What I don't recommend is Panglao. It's the most overrated site. Yeah, but see, I kind of like Panglao, but I didn't go there for vacation mode. Uh, I was dating a girl that lived in what is it, Davis, Darwin, but worked at Panglao. So I found a couple of pretty nice little rooms for about $30 a night. So I'd just go there and stay the weekend. But I guarantee it would get old. I guarantee it would get old. But yeah, when you're talking about the beach, there's like a 10-foot wide beach, and you're like, this is totally overrated. I don't complain too much because it's cheap, but it's so unnecessary. Yeah, definitely, definitely. Especially that second one. When you get here, that's the bitch. That second one's what costs you so damn much when you got to do your ACR card and all that crap. I'm from UK, married to Manila lady for 17 years, together for 20. That's awesome, Simon. See, you come at the right time, and I think it's still the right time. It's just that everybody knows the game and knows you know what I mean. But the Filipinas are as good as you can get when it comes to being in a relationship with, or mine has been. I've seen some nightmares though, but people don't just usually get on here and tell people how bad they've got it. So we're all people and we're all human. So uh, no tax, Social Security tips, overtime, and new cars built in USA. Bring back the factories. Absolutely, absolutely. I'm so tickled about that. I really am. I'm I don't want to get on here and be pro this or pro that, but I'm proud of what's going on a lot of things. But I can't stand how it's going on a lot of other things. If you know what I mean. I mean, I don't know. If you get me fired up on that, I'll go off on a tangent, and I probably don't need to. But like I said, I think they're both sides, Republican, Democrat, are just shitheads, and I think they're all in it together. And us poor people, we just sit back and get hosed. Let's be honest, profile's been used as a smokescreen. Suddenly, an insignificant YouTuber becomes a national emergency. Yeah, you, you could say that, uh, but you've seen it building too. It's not like it was. He pissed off some people around here that he shouldn't have pissed off. Is what it amounts to, and that's just my opinion. And so they was going to get him for anything. They was like, well, they got him for an overstay. I don't think that was. I think I'm sure he went in there to file his extension, and they said, "Nah, you need to come back, whatever." And they waited till he overstayed, and they're like, "Gotcha, bitch," So now he's screwed. Because let's come on, people don't get arrested or whatever for being 4 days overstay. And all the videos prior to that, they was trying to get her passport and shit rounded up. He was trying to get the hell out of here. But he'd been here 6 months, so he had to get that exit clearance. But like I say, I hope she does good, and I have no doubt that she'll rebound. She just have to. It'll be probably with an older dude this next time. But yeah, she'll be fine. Sounds like they added the charge for your ACR card. That's what I mean about the second one. It's always higher than hell on the second one. But I was thinking it was about 8,000 pesos, and not 11,000. Corruption is in the Philippines, unfortunately, for pro life. He's the scapegoat. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They took a lot out on him, and but at the same time, they scared a lot of people by doing that. There are certain YouTubers that was doing the same shit or had always been doing kind of the same shit. Uh, but they're not so cocky now, or they've deleted a lot of videos too. There's one that goes around here that's been doing it for years, but he stays on the move. He keeps hopping, so they can't get him pinned down. But I seen a video of him doing so much inappropriate shit that it put pro life traveler to shame. Greeting from Brisbane. Brisbane. You're up late this morning. Yeah, I am. I got my days and nights mixed up. Got them mixed up, so I don't know. I'm gonna be up. So hell, I'm drinking coffee, and it's what time? 3 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, I'm gonna have to do something to get my. I'm gonna have to stay awake all the way through, and not go to bed in the morning, and try to get back on track tomorrow. I'm sure Dumageddon vloggers don't feel comfortable now vlogging. You see, I don't. I really don't. I can tell the difference. Used to, people just loved it to be on your hey vlog, hey YouTube or whatever. And now you break out a camera and they're looking at you like, I, and I want to see. I want to be pointing like, see, I'm not pointing at you. I'm pointing at me. Blah blah. So it's just he screwed it up. And a lot of it was that vitality before him that was going around making people really look silly. Hey, brother, I got another white coat appointment. I'll catch you on the next one. I almost forgot. Hey, Chris, I hope everything goes well. Hope you get good news. Hey, Brent, checking out fasting retreat in Thailand. Let's get a group and do the 10-day fast together. I'm with you. I'm down. Shit parks cost $60 just to put up a tent. Yeah, it's bullshit. It's total bullshit. Mike and Glad. I never received an ACR card when my wife would go with me. I paid what the receipt showed. When my wife didn't go, I would end up paying more than what that receipt showed. Yeah, you should say something. You should say, "Hell no, this. Give me a receipt then. If I'm paying this many pesos, I want the receipt to say that." Have you seen the video where Sim ran into a kid driving a motorbike and then made those poor people pay even though it was his fault? Yeah, I seen that. That's the kind of shit I'm talking about. Like I seen him do some good shit, and then he do some chicken shit like that, and you could clearly tell them people they didn't have no money to pay that, and it was Sim's fault. He pulled right out in front of him, but he's the only one that I've ever seen that won, and it was just because they was scared. It was because they was scared because that kid was so young and totally illegal. But I guarantee if that kid's dad would have said, "No, it's your fault," blah blah blah, this blah blah, then it would have been on him. But he just he should have been dealt with right there because that was totally his fault. And then he's like, "Well, I've already paid for this rental car. Y'all gonna pay for that too?" Blah blah blah. Luckily, whoever rented him that car was a good lady because she's like, "No, it's no big deal. We'll bring you another one." Brent, how does this sound? 5 months Philippines, 3 months Thailand, 3 months Vietnam. Does that sound like a good game? Yeah, it sounds like a damn good one, but I don't know. I can't get into Vietnam right now, but it sounds awesome. It really does. You could even do 6 months here. 5 months and 28 days, or what have you. But my deal is, I just like to base here. I like to base here, and then I you know how long I'm gonna be here. I don't know. I don't, but we got to be careful. We may have to do it like that because Thailand's getting to where they'll only let you in for 2 trips a year. So you got a pretty good little game plan go. If you find a good one, it's heaven. Today's social media schools, if they want to make money, I'm glad I was there 20 years ago. I wish I was here with you, Simon, because you seen the good Philippines. We're all just getting the. I wish it was like it was when you was here. I really do, because even back then, the people were so much more genuine. Now, so many shithead tourists have come here and screwed it up for everybody else that it's not the same. I can see. I swear to you, folks, I'm not bullshitting you. I can, and I just been here about 3 years, off and on for 3 years, and I've seen so much change because when they're with their family and they're talking their language, I guarantee you, none of them words sound like terms of endearment, and then they'll turn it to you and look. And I know when I was dating that one old girl in Bohol, I had to go meet the family. You got to meet the family before you can do whatever in the proper way here in the Philippines. Ask the mother for her blessing and all that. Not bull crap. I mean, it's good. Uh, but you can tell that they're saying something, and then the next thing you know, the girlfriend says she wants to know this. They asked me, said, "Oh, they want to know what your intentions are." I'm like, "I don't have no intentions. I don't know how long I'm going to be here. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how. I was totally honest. I was like, I'm enjoying traveling right now, and I'm not going to commit to you right now to for anything. I'm not committing to nothing. So y'all get that out of your head." And then it was as soon as I said that, everything was fine. Everything was okay, and there was no. But I don't like to be the guy. I'm not one of them. I don't enjoy breakups. I've never really had a bad breakup. I've really tried to leave on a good note, no matter what happens. And I've been lucky and had some pretty good old gals. I've had some that I nearly got into that I was like, yeah, I'm glad I didn't go that route because that could have blew up, or see it blow up on the guy after you, or whatever. Because I've dated girls, and the first thing they talk about is, yeah, talk about their ex, he this, that, and whatever. Whoa, 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 whoa. See, I'm gonna have to think about this because if I'm your ex, you're gonna be spouting this same bullshit about me. Uh, Brent, if do you think it'll be better to just get a hotel by the month or get a condo? I like them both, just depending on what your price, what kind of prices you're looking at. I did the condo for a month, and I bitch about being in Cebu. I did the condo there for a month, but I had good times too. I just I'd already been to Dumaguete and I knew what was out there, so I couldn't wait to get back, and and so I like the idea of you don't have to tie yourself down, and you can always find, even if you're on a tight budget, you can get a $20 motel room pretty much anywhere. It may not be the best, but it's a place to lay your head, and there's a lot. Excuse me. There's a lot of freedom living out of that backpack. I swear I had the most fun, uh, or just felt better about life in general and all that when I was living out of a backpack. Every time I hopped somewhere, I was taking everything I owned, and it was hotel to hotel. And a month of that was riding through Vietnam, and with no destination, just riding, and depending on where and when. At a certain time, I would look on the map and see where I was going to stay that night. You talk about total freedom. You didn't have to worry about a woman, blah, 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 you didn't have to worry about none of that. It was just me and the road. If something screwed up, it was my fault. So I got to learn a lot about myself just by traveling solo. But everybody wants what they don't have. If you've got a girlfriend, you want to be single. If you're single, you want a girlfriend. You know what I mean? So you're never perfectly content. Uh, what's that? There's a song by Great Divide, The Great Divide. It said, "Oh, everybody that was anybody sitting on a tailgate, wishing they were single or wishing they had a date." That's a lot of truth to that. Everybody wants what they don't have. Yours always looks better than mine, but you gotta sit back and realize, hey, this is what I'm working with. Let's make this good. Let's make this so good that everybody wants this, and that's the way I try to live now. I think it'd be better. They didn't get him on an overstay. He did many visits due going to update his visit. They had it. Yeah, definitely. I agree. I agree. But they used that as an excuse, you know what I mean? To get him wrapped up so they could hit him with everything else. They wanted him off the streets, and that's how they was able to pin him down. And now they're trying to pin as much shit on him as, and good for what's her name, Jolena. Jolena, she's already saying what husband, so uh, she's already moved on clearly. And I'm sure she could see it too. She knew she was with a prick. You'd see her look at him in them videos, like you son of a bitch, blah blah blah, and you could tell she was just playing the part. But or I could tell. I think I could. Let's see. Is there any openings in Darwin where your friend is now, and how much are they? He found that place for 13,000 a month, which is like $220, and you just got to get out and look, or get on Facebook Marketplace and look. I hear that's about the going rate, 13 to $1,700 a month, or 17,000 pesos a month, which is a good price. Less than $300. And I've seen a lot of them uh, places that look like his, or even more beautiful. That Gojo Wonder or whatever. I think he's paying 17. He's got a hell of a deal. You walk out his gate, it's about the same walk, except he don't have the jetty port in front of his. But his looks absolutely beautiful too, and his come with a swimming pool. I love both their places, and there's places all along that beach. Uh, but anytime you get something, you got to give up something, and they're out of you know they live so far away from Dumaguete, they don't like coming to Dumaguete. Aaron's probably been back to Dumaguete twice since he's lived there, and hated it both times. There will be plenty of simps to fall in with Jolene. Yeah, I'm sure she's got them stacked up. I bet her DMs are so packed with, oh, this, that. It's funny how men pray like that. And I can't say anything because I'm sure I've done it too. You want to sweep in and get whatever. But at the same time, I don't like it. I don't like that I ever did that, but I'm sure I have. But I'm just saying that she's probably saying yes to many men, and I guarantee you they're uh, sending her money over the internet, just and thinking they're going to be the next one. And if that's what gets them by, let them, that's what gets them by. So good for both of them, the one sending and the one receiving, and the one that never will even come over here. But they got that fantasy in their head that one day I'm gonna live there and be with her, and hopefully they get to fulfill that. But I bet there's plenty of them saying that now, if you know what I mean. Is there a lot of holes where you have to squat down and go to the bathroom? My legs are weak and I would fall down. A lot of holes? No, no, I think you'd be all right, really. I think you'd be fine. Thailand is always changing the rules on visas. Yeah, I couldn't put up with the Philippines has changed, this and that since I've been here. I missed out, but about the time I got here, you could get a visa for 6 months, and now you can only do two. That would have been so much easier just to get the 6 month. That would have made this place back when like 17 years ago when you just pay and you're good for. That's like Mexico. As soon as you get off the plane, you're good for 6 months. You don't have to worry about nothing. Don't have to worry about no offices. Don't have to be extensions and none of that. And hell, I never stayed in Mexico over a few months, so it worked perfect for me. I, and that was the first place I'd ever been, so I thought, hell, following the rules ain't hard. But I'm awful particular. I never want to overstay, and so far I've never overstayed in the country. And I don't know if there's a little trigger or check mark or something. If you scan your passport, if it says, "Hey, this guy might overstay," he's he's been known to. Because I've got buddies that say, "Yeah, I'm about 4 days over." Hell, my other buddy said, "Hey, I'm about 10 days over." I said, "Damn, boy, you better get to the immigration office quick." He's like, "Well, last time I was 2 weeks," and I just told him that I don't know, they'd had a typhoon come within like 2 weeks, and they didn't even make him pay a penalty. So they can do what they want to do. When I was first there in BGC, wasn't there, or it was there, but it wasn't BGC at the time. I get what you're saying. First time I was in Philippines was 1965. All expenses paid. I bet that's right. I bet you had a green uniform on. Thank you for your service, John. Thank you for your service, because I know you probably just stopped over here and headed to the headed north. I was born then, John. I wasn't born then. I wasn't either. I'm a '77 model. Brent, how's the weight loss coming? It's not coming worth a shit, folks. I'm right back. I was 250 pounds again today. Like I say, I fell off, and I can fluctuate 8 or 9 pounds depending on if I'm out of fluids or not. And I'm discouraged. I'm gonna have to. That's why I hadn't been talking about it, because I'm like, shit, I've got to do better. I've got to do better. But just all this temptation, folks, and I'm going about it wrong. I'm kind of starving myself until I'm want to eat everything, and I need to just kind of eat throughout the day, but stay keto. But I love bread, and I just bought a loaf of bread, and I'm like, I can't let that loaf go bad, so I got to eat sandwiches until that loaf's gone. And then next thing I know, I'm eating them four brats in one sitting, saying that I'm only eating one meal a day. But then I'd wake up in the middle of the night and think, hey, I've still got two brats in there. Let me knock them out. John, did your Uncle Sam? I bet he did, Brian. You know he did. I bought a condo in Cebu. Never again. I'll keep the one as a landing spot in the Philippines, but it's not U.S. So buying real estate as a foreigner is a bad idea. Very poor ARV on the properties there. Yeah, I've always heard that. I've heard they go obsolete so quick because there's no maintenance. There's no. Uh, but I also heard too, if you're going to do it, that's the way to do it. Get a condo. You can own the condo, but you can't own the land. Which there's no good way. But at least you got a spot. You know what I mean? You got a spot. So that's my deal, people. Just remember, whatever you buy or whatever you spend over here, you're not getting it back. I don't care if uh, I'm just saying, if for me, any money I spend, I just kiss it goodbye and just figure I'll never see it again. So it would be the same, even if she wanted to build a house or buy a house. Well, you do what you want to do, but I'm still paying $200 a month, or 12,000 pesos a month. Let's see. Kuya One Pyre says, I'm better off with a girlfriend than I am at this stage of my life. But I've changed some things. I'll no longer send money in case I get cheated on. I only pay everything when me. Absolutely, that's absolutely right. And I understand that. Hell, I started talking. Would say dating, but you can't really say you dated if you never met. Back in 2019, when I was wanting to come over here so bad before the pandemic hit us, uh, I got on there and I found me one, and I found a good one. But by the time I got to come over here, we quit talking. We hadn't talked in a year or two, so I didn't even look her up. And I knew Mindanao was kind of a red zone, but she seemed like a good old gal. I guarantee we talked for probably a year and a half, and we talked every day like boyfriend and girlfriend for about a year. then we kind of just slowly said, I don't guess this Philippines deal is ever going to happen, because I was looking every day. Is it open? Is it open? Can we go? Do you have to be vaccinated? Because I'm not getting vaccinated. And so it never happened. But she never once asked me for money. She never, and so I think she was actually a good one. And she was even helping me with the way she said, you need to eat bananas. It's like, I don't know about that, but I'll go buy some bananas. So I did that. I just was fat eating bananas. But I understand what you're saying, Kuya. If you're better off with a girlfriend, because I mean, it's uh, yeah, I totally get it. Me too. Me too. Brent, does he have a place to eat for a good price, not first price? Are you talking about Aaron? Because he's got a. I mean, he's neighbors now, and it's kind of that way. It's kind of that way when you go anywhere. You know, there's a tourist price, and then after about a week of that shit, you say, come on now, this is you know this is me. Is there a grocery? There's one in Dowling, and of course he's about 5 minutes away from Dowling, so he's he's out there pretty good. But yeah, they've got two grocery stores. They've got everything he needs. So like I say, I think he's been back to Dumagetti 2 or 3 times uh, on his little chariot, and we keep aiming to do a video on that chariot, and I'm going to give more information about it. I don't think that's a route that you'd want to take. I really don't. He said it'll rattle you to death about 60 kilometers an hour, and it's good for him because he feels safe in it. But it's not logistically, you know, I don't think it's a good option. I mean, I think it's a good option, but I don't. I think there's a better option, because I see these other little tricycles uh, that ain't. That one looks like it's built to work. They've got them that are built for to be cozy. And somebody told me, tell him take two leaf springs out, and that may change it up a whole bunch. But he said it rides rough, and it's kind of low geared, and it's just it's built to work. It really is. It's more like a Kawasaki mule. Uh, nothing wrong with them, but to get him back and forth to Dumagetti, it's just not ideal. It's perfectly ideal there in Darwin. And like I say, it's perfectly good for him because he don't ever come to Dumagetti. How are the women in Mexico with the age gap, and do they like foreigners? I I think there's no problem with foreigners. I think it's just you better learn the language, because that was the only barrier for me, was the language. Uh, I met some awesome people in Mexico, really did. But I didn't. I never went to bars or none of that. I met 90% of them in church. Believe it or not, I would go to church with the family that I lived with in Mexico and became my family. So I would go to church with them, and I just met so many good people through that. And then we had like a church resort. Even had a church singles night or a dance for all the singles to go, and I had a blast. I met some girls that are still friends. I'm still friends with them today. That just, but I went to Mexico thinking Mexico is a poor place. Well, it's not. Mexico's got like I think the number 6 economy in the world, or something like that. Yeah, there's poor places, but Cancun is not the place you want to be. I mean, you can be on both sides, kind of like the Philippines. You can set your budget anywhere, is what I'm trying to say, because they've got some super high rollers, and then they've got some cheap spots. And I've always been a cheapie, uh, because that's what I am. That's all. You know, if you only got so much money, you set your standards here. But I would get to go to the high class people, or high class places. I just couldn't stay quite as long, if you know what I mean. They said uh, it don't cost no more to go for first class. You just can't stay quite as long. Well, that's how it was for me in Mexico. And I had the insight though. I lived with Brenda, and she took me everywhere. She took me to awesome places that only locals know, and so that's the best thing that ever happened to me, is me picking. I went from a resort in Mexico to that was the first Airbnb, and I thought I was just renting I've rented 100 Airbnbs, and I just thought it was going to be another one. They took me in, treated me like family, and that's why I kept going back to Mexico. I just love the people, I really do. some great people. But age gap, I don't, they're not into the age gap. They're really not. But man, there's some beautiful Mexican women down there. I meant holes in the bathroom instead of a toilet. No, I've never run into that. There's toilets everywhere. And I've seen what you're talking about, and that's a big deal in Vietnam more than Philippines. I've never seen anywhere where you had to piss in a hole or shit in a hole or none of that. There's always been a toilet everywhere. May not be a seat on that toilet, but there's always been a toilet. Where does Aaron have to go to get his visa? Here in Dumaguete. But he was actually able to do his online the first time. It actually worked for him. But he told me he still had to pay the express fee online. I mean, what's all that about? It seems that Geo on the go is regretting doing a year in Thailand after Thailand changed their visa rules. I thought he was in Kenya or somewhere. Is he not in Kenya? Now he's trying to say that Kenya's the best place in the world. Geo on the go realized Thailand's not that cheap. Like I say, folks, it can be whatever you want it to be. If you can get in there and settle down like an expat, or you can go in there and roll like a tourist. So you can set your deal anywhere. David's in Thailand right now, and he said, "Man, I still got $1,500, and I don't have to go back till tomorrow." I'm saying, see, you could have spent that same $1,500, got you an apartment for the whole month, and paid for some company, but instead he went and was paying $100 a night for a hotel or 70 or whatever he's paying. I'm not saying how much he was paying. Be careful announcing those friendships, Brent. Your girlfriend may hear you and pop goes to pieces. I hear you. Every time I put my phone down, I wake up and I'll have 30 people deleted or 50. Or I'll get on there and think, man, I hadn't heard from such and such in a long time. And I said, did you block them? Yeah. Hell, she even blocked my mom one time. I said, do you realize that's my mom? If it was a woman's name, they're gone. So I had to go through. I said, quit doing that shit. I was thinking the same thing when Susie Q came in here. Hey, Susie Q's seen me from the day I was born. But yeah, you're right. She would probably. But I think I've already explained that one to her. Trina must be a deep sleeper. Yeah. Either that or she's listening. She may be in there watching all these comments. But I think she's asleep. Well, we've nearly got 2 hours in, folks. I appreciate everybody sticking with me, keeping me, giving me something to do. I enjoy talking to y'all. I really do. Even if we're shooting the shit, I come on here. Didn't even have a topic really to talk about. I just wanted to visit with y'all, and y'all pulled me through another one. Like I say, folks, this is therapy to me. It really is. A bunch of people come over here and they say, "Wow, there's too many foreigners." I never see foreigners. I don't remember. I had a sub come by today. If you're watching this, I'm sorry that I was asleep, and it was probably 1 o'clock in the afternoon because I was up all night last night. But I hadn't seen a foreigner, and I don't know how long. So y'all are pretty much the only foreigners that I interact with. So I appreciate it. Y'all pulled me through. And yeah, if I wanted to, I could go down to the coffee shop and probably interact with them, but I just hadn't. Nothing against them, nothing against nobody. They're not in my bubble. A lot of people talk about Dumaguete's got too many blah 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 people. Well, it can, and if you wanna set your sights on being around them, they're here. But you can also not be around them. What about the danger of Mexico cartel in Mexico? Never had a problem with it. There was 2 or 3 incidents that happened while I was there. I was even about 30 yards away from a guy that got killed sitting in his car sitting outside the Chedraui. The guy walked up to him, shot him dead. I thought they was shooting up the grocery store, so I was about to bolt. But they just walked by, shot the guy in the car, and then left. I mean, it was clearly a cartel hit. They said there's probably a drug deal gone bad, but there was 2 or 3 incidences when they run up on the beach and shot some tourists. But I never had a problem with it. There was a big military presence there. There was always I don't know what you call them, federales or the Mexican police and the camouflage always on the beach with M16s at the ready. So it's definitely a problem there. I just never seen I just never had to deal with it. And the last time I was there, this the last time when I went back, it was different too, folks. It didn't feel the same to me. There was all these dangers. They were the Mexican people were actually rioting in the streets of Mexico City because they wanted the foreigners the hell out. You know, even the Mexicans was pissed. Yo, there's too many damn foreigners here. They're taking up all the accommodations. They're making rent 3 times the price is what it's supposed to be. But that was in Mexico City. In Cancun, they want the people because their whole infrastructure and everything is built for the tourist. They just didn't want the tourist in Mexico City. They wanted that to be their playground and their prices and whatever. If you want to be a tourist, get your ass over to Cancun. But they was tired of people. We need to make the squeeze gun mandatory in the U.S. Best way to keep it clean. The squeeze gun. Best way to keep it clean. I'm not following you. What do you mean? Simply social? The squeeze gun. You gonna fill us in about the squeeze gun? Hopefully. I know I should be tracking you, but I've lost my train of thought. Anybody else got any questions or got any topics we need to discuss? And next time I get on here, I'll try to have us a topic or something to talk about. But like I say, y'all pulled me through one tonight. I was roosters. Is the sun coming up? No, these sun bitches crow all night. If they ain't crowing, the dogs are barking. I guarantee you, last night I was ready to pull my hair out. The dogs, every dog in the neighborhood was raising hell, and I tried clapping, I tried stomping my foot, I tried everything, and they wouldn't shut up. But it's getting close to it to come up. It's 3:30, another hour or so. How's the bass fishing over there? I've never went fishing here. Never have been fishing over here. I don't think they have bass though. I've never seen a bass over here. That's the only kind of fishing I know how to do. I'm not a deep sea diver. It'd probably be cool. I'm sorry for the chuckling. Well, folks, I think I'm gonna call it a night. I'm gonna try to stay up and push through this. Me too, bud. I'm gonna try to push through this and stay awake through the rest of the day, and hopefully get back on track tomorrow. Uh, and get back on track on my eating. I finished the loaf of bread, folks. I finished the loaf of bread, so I have no more excuses about that. Good night, folks. Be safe, all. Brian, appreciate you. I appreciate you hanging with us, interacting with us. Like I say, y'all got me. Uh, they have peacock bass. I've never been fishing here. The only thing I've seen on like the side of the road when we're stopping for, they've got so many different kinds of damn fish. Hell, she buys fish that look like minnows. I ain't kidding. I said, get that shit out of the refrigerator. You stick it up in my refrigerator. But I've never. The only thing we ever buy is like the tuna, and I forget the other one. We bought some flying fish, some tuna, and I forget the name of the other one. Oh, the bathroom grunt. Absolutely, we need it. I don't know why in the hell that hadn't gone on in the United States. And yeah, I told you as soon as you told me that it would hit me, I should be following you. Yeah, absolutely right. The tank tenderizer. I guarantee when I go back home, I'm putting one of them in my house. I guarantee you, I will have one of them. When I first got a divorce, folks, I went to the old farmhouse and I started fixing it up. Take a ride, Brent's tripping. Be good. Uh, I put me a urinal in, but I got it was the wrong kind of urinal. It was one of them that you had to flush. I wanted one to just piss into your drain and then you could flush it and just rinse it through. But it wanted to flush like a damn commode, and I didn't realize it until I already had it installed. That was in my house for about a year. And when I'd be dating girls and they'd go in my bathroom and just, what the hell is that? I said, this is a damn bachelor pad. This is my house. I can have what I want there. But after my lines froze up one or two times, I'd like get that some bitch out of there. So I took it out. I will definitely have a tank tenderizer in my house when I go back. Anyway, folks, I'm going to get off here. Like I say, appreciate everybody stopping by. Enjoyed every minute of it. These roosters are telling all these Filipinos it's time to get up, probably because I won't shut up. So I'm gonna get off here. Maybe let everybody get an hour or two sleep before the sun comes up. Anyway, folks, I appreciate y'all. Brent's tripping. Peace.